like Mongolia, with only a population of 3 million, it will be impossible to stop climate change by just ourselves, or at least even reduce the air pollution in Ulaanbaatar to how much it had been a century ago. And that's because we do not have enough money, we do not have enough time, and we do not have enough power. So why bother and cause more problems when we know the truth that we cannot even affect climate change? Also, another reason why developed countries should have a higher obligation is because less economically developed countries have other big problems than just climate change. LDCs like African nations and Mongolia are facing many problems which they cannot deal with, such as environmental pollution, food and water shortage, infectious diseases, wars, jobless people, and governmental issues. But among these problems, the most influential is probably poverty again, especially when there's a huge economic crisis all over the world. It's making people's lives even harder and causing lots of companies to close up and people to lose their jobs. Salaries are getting lower, the total amount of jobless people are increasing rapidly, and products prices are getting higher day by day, making it hard for us citizens to live. During an economic crisis, less developed countries are affected the most, so the attention towards climate change and the worries of people in developing countries will no longer continue because it's likely for people.
Our Earth is like a huge house that has lots of apartments. And in those apartments, there are lots of different types of people. Good, bad, rich, and poor. Let's say there is a fire in one of the apartments. When the fire starts to spread real fast, what are the other people in the apartments should do? What do you think? And what if that one house that is on fire is the only place you can call home, is the only place you can live on? Should they wait until their home is destroyed and blame it on the others when it's too late? Aren't you supposed to be the one to take care of your property when it's in danger? If you lived in that house and knew your home was close to being destroyed, what will you do? What do you think your neighbor should do? We are all global citizens. We are the ones that must take care of our land, our property, our planet. No matter what country you're from, no matter how old you are, no matter how wealthy you are a citizen of this planet. Climate change is similar to this fire, and the reality is that's happening right now, here in Mongolia, there in America, all over the world. According to IPCC, Summary for Policymakers, it has been dated that the observations since 1961 show that the average temperature of global ocean has increased to the depths of at least...
Even though we are living on one Earth as global citizens, developing countries are not able to combat climate change as effectively as developed countries because of following reasons. First of all, developed countries have been producing much emissions for many years, which causes the climate change. To start from Industrial Revolution in 19th century. Therefore, they need to fix it. Moreover, they have higher responsibility to combat climate change. And whereas citizens of developing countries are not aware of climate change, and they're not well educated to combat climate change and to take actions. So, but the citizens of developed countries are not. And secondly, climate change is not an environmental issue, but also a challenge to international security and development. And developing countries can protect themselves from sudden catastrophic changes in economy and climate change. In the last few years,
we are the ones who should be protecting this country, even though the pollution is being caused by the developed countries. Although we are almost innocent, we can't wait for anyone to protect our country for us. By protect, I mean do things to our country to make it better and safer for our future. We can't expect anyone to do things for us, so we have to do things by ourselves, for our own future. Even the littlest things can make a difference. If we are contributing, then that's all we have to do, to contribute. To contribute is a great thing. As our team has said before, we are living on one Earth as global citizens, so everyone should be involved. If we go down, everyone goes down. I don't think anyone would want that. As you have said before, our voices would be heard and our efforts would be useless, but it wouldn't. It would make a huge difference to our country. Although we can't do things on a global scale, we still have our own issues that we should take care of first. Doing productive things to improve our city. Even if the developed nations miraculously stop emitting greenhouse gases, they can. If they're the only ones fighting greenhouse gas emissions cannot be stopped because the developing countries are still emitting. I mean, climate change is happening now, and the climate will continue to change even if all the developed countries stop emitting greenhouse gases.
Is that in the late 1800s, all over the world, there was a problem on the streets because of horse poop, on the roads. And in the New Year conference, they decided that they couldn't do anything about it until Henry Ford discovered a thing called cars. So my question to you is that, should we just ignore the next Henry Ford and the developing nations?
Developed countries like USA and Great Britain, they have more resources and higher technology than any other countries. So if any answer comes, it's probably going to come from them. And what does Silt River have to do with climate change?
Well, we know for a fact that desertification is caused by global warming, and the upstreams of Silt River is affected by desertification. So because the upstream is affected by desertification, the Silt River is shrinking rapidly, really fast. So it's because of it has to do with global warming.
Oh, let's imagine the world, okay? And all countries join together to combat climate change and blaming each other to take the first action. And China says USA should do it because they've been producing much emission for a long time. But USA say China should do it because they're producing much emission now. Yeah. While we are blaming each other, climate change will become severe and its harmful consequences will worsen international security and world's economy. Therefore, we need to decide immediately who should lead on combat climate change before it becomes severe and irreversible, and we need to start to take action as soon as possible. Because climate change won't wait for us happening now and becoming severe. So our team has a strong position that developed countries, especially America, should lead on combat climate change. Thank you.
Okay, let's imagine the world again. Imagine instead a world where only the developed countries are fighting against global warming. A place where developed countries have gotten rid of the greenhouse gas emissions. Can you imagine that? It is a nice picture, isn't it? But I doubt it would come true because, if only the developed countries are fighting against it, the developing nations will still be emitting. They will still be emitting as much as as much as the developed nations.
Question for the opposition. What kinds of things do you think developing countries should do to contribute to affecting global warming if they don't have the means to do it?
Okay, as I've said in my speech, developing countries, even though they can't afford it, they should at least try to do something, right? They have to try, because global warming is happening right now, and if we don't do something now, and if we contribute even more, then global warming is going to get worse, and who knows what the consequences might be. So,
And because at the end, if global warming starts to happen really fast, the poor countries will be affected even more. So they should be contributing just as much as the developed nations for themselves.